Simplifying a ratio of polynomials. Problem type 1. We're asked to simplify this fraction, and we would like to cancel some terms in the top with some terms in the bottom. But before we can do that, we have to write it as multiplication before we can cancel terms. So that means that we need to factor both the top and the bottom. Starting with the top, since the leading coefficient of that polynomial is 1, I can go ahead and set it up. The factoring is going to factor into two binomials, and since it's y squared, I know that it has to be y and y. Now, to find the last term there, we take the 4, which is our last one, the positive 4, and there's only two combinations, 1 and 4 or 2 and 2, but I need to choose a combination that adds up to -5. So if they're going to add up to -5 but multiply to be 4, since they multiply to be a positive 4, the signs have to be the same. So using the signs the same, I can use a -1 and a -4. They multiply to be a positive 4, but they add up to -5. So since I found the combination, I'm just going to put those in, -1, -4. And then for the denominator, we also need to factor that. And now that one looks a little bit different. The first thing that we always want to look for is a greatest common factor. And this does have one. They both have a 2 as a common factor. So if I factor that out, I'm left with a y squared minus a 1. And that can be found by dividing them both by 2. So that's where the 1 comes from. Now, we're not quite done with the denominator though, because hopefully you recognize that as the difference of two squares. So this part inside is actually a y squared minus a 1 squared. So it's a difference, it's subtraction of two squares. So that tells us that in the bottom, we still have the 2 out in front. We don't want to lose that. But what is inside those parentheses, that will factor as the first one, y, minus the second one, 1, times the first one, the y again, plus the second one, 1. So we're getting those from here. And now we've got the bottom completely factored. I'm just going to rewrite the top, y minus 1, y minus 4. So we've got both completely factored out, and at this point we're looking for anything that will cancel. So there are some similar terms in the top and the bottom. They have to be exactly the same. The y minus 1 and the y minus 1, those two cancel. Nothing else is going on, no other similarities there that we can cancel. So we just need to rewrite this. Now we just have the y minus 4 in the top. And in the bottom, I'm just going to leave that as 2 times y plus 1. You can distribute the 2 or leave the 2 factored out. Either way is fine. That's our answer.